Steve Prescott's hands up! For Steve Prescott's hands up! For Steve Prescott's hands up!
Welcome to Serious About Rugby League. Today on the agenda we have a hot topic. Israel Folau, the Australian rugby union player, has been sacked for posting anti-gay comments on his Instagram last week. He's come out and said that his faith is more important than rugby. Do we think it's too harsh, Sean?
I think, well, Folau is in the wrong. Let's just get it out in the open because it is ridiculous. I've seen a lot of comments about the way that his second statement came out saying, "Oh yeah, well this is more important than this." Yes, okay. Those of faith know that the faith is as important as everything else in their life, but it doesn't give you the right to what is abuse, technically and literally.
Do you think it's his approach?
I think it's. I'm not sure. Like it's a difficult one to talk about, but I think he's massively in the wrong. I think he deserved to be sacked. I think any sort of inclination that he may be coming to this country is a farce. I feel like if he's allowed to enter the competition, having openly abused people, and accepted that he's not only accepted it, been quite open in saying that he's happy with what he's said, I think it's a disgrace that you'd even consider letting him play professional sport in this country.
Yeah. What is your opinion, Ben, on this? I mean, do you think that his religion, his faith, should define him as a player?
Well, no. I mean, the first thing you've got to say on it is, yeah, he is in the wrong. They're his opinions, and obviously the reason for him getting sacked. He's spreading hate at the end of the day. If those are his beliefs, then keep them in the four walls of your own home, or with people who believe the same things as you. Don't put them out in the open to hundreds, thousands, millions of people. It probably is now on social media. It's just silly. It's stupid, and I can't understand why he would do that. But obviously the talking point now is the NRL. He's been sacked by Australian Rugby Union. The NRL, where he started his career, obviously he's started off in rugby league. That's where he made his name before going over there and becoming one of the greatest players the 15-man codes probably had over the last decade. Will he come over to Super League now? The NRL have shut the door on him. Super League haven't shut the door on him, like an RFL spokesman has said that it's ultimately that they will continue to ensure the integrity of the competition is maintained. But that was basically it. They never said that they're going to stop him coming into the competition like the NRL have said. They've basically shut the door on him, and he could come to Super League. I think if you're looking at it from the point of view of his name now, Israel Folau, fantastic player, known worldwide, but his name is now tarnished. If he was to come to Super League, it would be a lot of exposure, publicity for our competition, but it would be for the wrong reasons, and I think it would tarnish our competition as well.
The thing that really infuriates me is that we had a similar sort of argument, obviously not in this case homophobic abuse, but in terms of the Ben Berber incident that was instantly shut out. Domestic abuse, obviously the charges were dropped as such, and still ongoing with him and his personal life, but the abuse that was obvious at that point was stamped out by the Super League straight away. As soon as the NRL said that we're not going to allow this player to play, the RFL and Super League came out and said, okay, we're not going to allow this player to play. I don't see the difference. They're both abuse. Whether one's physical or verbal is obviously the difference, but in terms of affecting people, it's still abuse. And the fact that Super League have even left the slightest open door for this is, I think, absolute farce. I think this is something that needs to be stamped out immediately, because at what point do you stop? A lot of people are talking about the role model sort of incident and idea, and I don't buy into the role model idea at all. I feel like a professional sportsman, okay, yeah, people look up to them because they want to be professional sportsmen, but I don't buy into this idea that because they're professional sportsmen, they have to be a perfect example of like human life. I disagree completely, but what you've got to say is that you should only be allowed the privilege of playing the sport if you're willing to be at least a decent human being. Like, if you're gonna throw around hate because you feel like it's your need, and let's clarify, it's not, the Christian faith does not believe in sending hate to like gay people. It's not like a homophobic religion. You don't go around saying, "Oh, I'm Christian, so I hate these people. I hate these people. I hate these people." That's fundamentally against everything Christianity stands for. Mm-hmm. So the fact that he's using that as an excuse to spread hate is stupid in itself.
Do you think he meant it in that way? Do you think he meant to spread hate? Do you think he was just voicing his faith, his feelings on it?
People say he's voicing an opinion. Yeah, he is voicing an opinion, but
we live in a world freedom of speech. People may say, is that alright? Do you think the fans are going to like it if he does come back to...
But what's the difference between physical and verbal abuse when it affects people in so many of the same ways? Obviously not the physical injuries, but the long-term, like, mental sort of battle with yourself that these things can cause. Both physical and verbal abuse are in exactly the same boat, and I don't understand why people won't look at that in a similar way.
I think, obviously you talk about what's the difference. There probably isn't a difference. The only difference is from the actual, probably the point of view of Super League is Ben Barber's, he's been sacked by the NRL directly, whereas Israel Folau has not been sacked by the NRL, as he's been sacked by Australian Rugby Union governing body. They've terminated his contract, and now he's a free agent to go where he wants. Obviously, with the competitions that will have him. Now, this statement from Super League it's a nothing statement, really. It's just basically saying that we want to maintain the integrity of our competition. When asked about a subject like this, it's almost like a politician's response to a question, isn't it? It's answering the question with a different answer to what the question is. The question is Israel Folau, is the door open for him to join a Super League club?
Yeah.
That answer to me suggests if a club over here, a big club, well, not necessarily a big club, any club could offer him a deal. If he accepts it, a Super League or the RFL going to stand in his way? I don't think they are. I think he's going to be allowed into this competition. Some people will be massively against it. Some people probably won't be that bothered. Mm-hmm. He's a big name. He's probably going to be a great player in rugby league still. When he left, he was an Australian international. He'd probably come back in and be brilliant in this competition as a player. But unfortunately now his name, like I said, is tarnished. And I think if they've got the wits about them, the RFL and Super League should shut the door on him, because we're only damaging ourselves at the end of the day.
I think a lot of people are trying to compare it to other issues where people have come back from long-term bans or from being like exiled from the NRL, and I think you've got to look at it on a completely different standpoint. Just because, if nothing else, if you want to believe the best in people and you want to believe that even if you've done something wrong, so if you take Hardaker, for example.
Mm-hmm. I was just thinking of that one.
And it'll be the first one that comes to people's minds because he's back playing in the Super League. But, yes, he's done something wrong, but there's clear signs that he wants to rehabilitate himself. There's no clear sign that Folau even cares about what he's said or what damage he's done.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to rehabilitate himself, he doesn't want to reconcile with himself, he just wants to continue to believe that. And that's the biggest difference between the two issues.
But shouldn't people be given a second chance? Like you say, Hardaker has been given more than a second chance.
Well, I think what Sean's saying is right. He's come out and said, basically, not that he doesn't care he's been sacked, because he will care. He's lost his living, his livelihood, his everything to him in the world at the moment, is it? Obviously, apart from his family and his faith. They're probably the only two things that are more important to him. And he's basically said when it comes to his faith, nothing else matters. Mm-hmm. So rugby doesn't matter to him, because this is what I believe and I'm going to continue to believe it. So who's to say he doesn't come over to Super League and put out a similar post again, because he's basically come out and said that he's not going to change. So for all we know, he could put out one of these posts every week when he's playing in Super League. I don't know. I mean, that's the difference.
Yeah, some interesting points there. Okay, you the fans, tell us what you think on this really hot topic at the moment. Comment below or subscribe, like or dislike if you don't like what's being said today, but give us a thumbs up if you do.
Watch every game of the NRL, plus the grand final and state of origin, from anywhere outside Australia, New Zealand or the Pacific Islands. Go to watchnrl.com and take the footy with you.